Okay, so see guys, we don't have to draw pictures anymore, but now we actually have a couple more problems that we have to do just by doing the standard algorithm. The one thing you have to remember is you have to keep going until you do not have anything left over. We do not want to have a remainder at all. Our decimal is technically where our remainder is going to be. So when you're doing this, make sure that you do leave yourself enough space to be able to do the work. So we're going to start off with letter A, and I have 9/10 divided by 2. Remember, this is always going to be the number that's going to go in the den. This number is always going to go into the den. This number is always what our divisor is and is outside. So we have 2 can go into 9. Well, because I don't have that whole number, just remember, bring that decimal right on up. So 2 can go into 9 4 times. 4 minus 2 is 8, or sorry, 4 times 2 is 8. So now I've got 9 minus 8 equals 1. Well, I can't have that remainder, so I'm just going to extend this a little bit more. I'm going to add a 0, bring down a 0. 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5. 5 times 2 is 10, and now I have 0. So this answer is 45 hundredths. And guys, just remember, if I have 9/10, it is equal to 90 hundredths. It is equal to 900 thousandths. So no matter what, all these three numbers are the exact same thing. It's just I'm adding zeros to help me find that exact number. So now I'm going to go into this one. I've got 9 and 1/10 divided by 5. 5 goes into 9 one time. Subtract 5 because 1 times 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. I'm going to bring that 1 down, and before I move on though, I'm going to put my decimal place, just bring it straight up. 5 can go into 40 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. 41 minus 40 is 1, so I can't have that remainder. I'm not done yet. I'm going to bring my 0 down. So now I have 10. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. I don't have to keep going. And you know what? Instead of rewriting my answer, I can just make sure to circle that answer so I know that is the answer I'm looking for. Letter C, I have 9 divided by 6. Okay, so 6 goes into 9 one time. So 1 times 6 is 6. So I've got 9 minus 6 is 3. Now what you're normally used to is, well, I would just put this as a remainder of 3. Okay, you cannot do that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add a decimal and we're going to add that 0. Okay, because remember when I came up here, okay, we can add 0.9 and that's still going to equal all the same. So even here, like if I say I have $9, I can also say I have $9. Okay, those are going to be equal. So adding those zeros will not change it. So now I can bring down my 0. 6 goes into 30. Oh, don't forget to bring that decimal up. 6 goes into 35 times. 5 times 6 is 30. I have nothing left, so that would be my final answer. Okay, let's go ahead and do letter D. I'm going to do 98 hundredths divided by 4. Okay, because I don't have a ones, I'm just going to automatically bring that decimal up before I get started so I don't forget it. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down my 8. Okay. 4 goes into 18 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. 18 minus 16, or I know that 8 minus 6 is 2, and then 1 minus 1 is 0, so I don't need to do anything. Just can't leave that hanging. Gotta add that 0. So I'm going to add my, added the 0 in the wrong place. Add my 0 here, extend my problem, bring down that 0. 4 goes into 20 how many times? 5. 5 times 4 is 20. It equals 0. That would be my final answer. Okay. 9 and 3/10 divided by 6. Okay. 6 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 6 is 6. So 9 minus 6 is going to be 3. I'm going to pull my 3 down. Don't forget, before I figure out how many times 6 goes into 33, I'm going to bring that decimal right on up. 6 goes into 33 5 times. 6 times 5 is 30. So 33 minus 30 is going to be 3. I've got to extend my problem. Don't want anything left. I only am looking for my 0. Bring that 0 down. Now I've got 30. 6 goes into 30 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. Now I've got 0. And there's my final answer. All right. 91 divided by 4. 91 divided by 4. Okay. 4 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. 9 minus 5, no, sorry, 9 minus 4 is 5. Now, I did this one on purpose like this, okay? Because here's going to be a big clue as to, wait a second, I've got this answer right here is bigger than what I'm dividing it. So that means I can actually do this one more time. So I'm just gonna tell you guys when you do this to erase it, okay? That's that big clue. Now we can go in, you gotta erase everything, I guess. Okay, 4 goes into 9 2 times. So 2 times 4 is 8, 9 minus 8 is 1. So now this number here is going to be smaller. Just remember, if your number that you have after you have subtracted is the same or bigger than that divisor, then you need to go back because it can go in one more time. Like I said yesterday, and I'm explaining this right now, we'll come back and do some more problems like this that you will kind of understand and see where it is important that you've got to make sure that you have divided it as much as you can before you move on. So I'm going to bring my 11 down. I don't have to bring my decimal because right now I don't have a decimal at all. So 4 goes into 11 2 times. I'm going to subtract 8. So this turns into a 0, 11. Well, of course, 11 minus 8 is going to be 3. Okay, now this is where it kind of goes back up to this problem. I can add a decimal with a 0. So now I need to add my decimal. I'm going to bring my 0 down. So now I can say, well, 4 goes into 30. How many times? Well, I'm going to say 7 times because 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, so I've regrouped because I can't do 0 minus 8. So I've regrouped now and I've got 10 minus 8 is 2. Still can't have anything left over, so I'm going to bring another 0 down. 4 goes into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. I have nothing left, so that is a perfect answer. I just want to make sure that you guys did see this. If you ever have anything that's going to, after you've subtracted, is going to be equal to or greater than what this number is, you need to go back and make those changes. So we just have 2 more problems left and then we will be done for today. So this says 6 bakers. So I've got 6 bakers shared 7.5 or 7 5/10 kilograms of flour equally. How much flour did they each receive? So I'm going to take 7 5/10 and I'm going to divide it by 6. So when I see it this way, of course, you know, that's going to be just way too difficult for me to try to figure out in my head or anything like that. So I'm going to put this into that standard algorithm. Okay, because I'm dividing this number into 6s. 6 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 6 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. I'm going to bring that 5 down, and before I move on, I'm going to put that decimal there. 6 goes into 15 2 times, minus 12, and I'm going to be going over this problem, I'm sorry. 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. I am going to have to add a 0, bring that down. So now I've got 30. So 6 goes into 30 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 minus 30 is 0. So I am finished, and they each received 1 25 kilograms of flour. Okay. So I know this is good. Oh, sorry, guys. I know this is going to kind of be a little difficult to read, but that's okay. I can read it to you guys. So it says, Mrs. Henderson makes punch by mixing 10 9/10 liters of apple juice, 6/10 liters of orange juice, and 8 liters of ginger ale. She pours the mixture equally into 6 large punch bowls. How much punch is in each bowl? And they want me to express my answer in liters? Well, first of all of them are in liters, so I know I don't have to convert, but I do have to do two parts to this. The first thing is I need to know how many liters of all of these juices I have all together. And if you're thinking, well, I need to add all of them up, you're right. So I am going to take the 10 and 9/10 of apple juice. I have 6/10 of orange juice, and then I have 8 liters of ginger ale. So I'm going to add that decimal because remember 8 is going to go up and line up with my ones column. And going back to what you learned a couple lessons ago is that when you are adding or subtracting, you want to line up those decimals. Nothing, you know, the numbers where everything is, it doesn't matter. You've got to line up that decimal. 8 does not necessarily have a decimal because remember it's got that little invisible decimal after it with you can have as many zeros as you want. So now I can add this up. I've got 9 plus 6 plus 0 is going to give me 15. Regroup my 1. Before I move on, I'm just going to bring that decimal on down. So 1 plus 0 plus 8 is going to be 9. I don't have to regroup. And then 1 plus 0 basically is 1. Okay? If you wanted to, you could put a 0 here. You don't need to put any zeros there or anything else, but it's just really important that you do add those zeros after the decimal to line some things up. So now she pours it equally into 6 large punch bowls. So I need to figure out how much is in each punch bowl. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take that 19 and 5/10 and I'm going to divide it by 6. So 6 goes into 1 0 times, but 6 goes into 19 3 times because 3 times 6 is 18, okay? So 19 minus 18 is 1. I'm going to bring that 5 down, and before I figure out how many times 6 can go into 15, I want to bring that decimal right on up that I have. 6 goes into 15 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. Okay, cannot have a remainder, okay? Cannot do a 2/10 with a remainder of 3. You can't do that at all. So I'm going to add a 0 and extend my division problem. I'm going to bring my 0 down. 6 goes into 35 times. 5 times 6 is 30, so that's so nice. We're done with the problem. So each punch bowl has 3 2/25 liter of juice. Okay. Alrighty, so go on to the next slide and you're going to figure out all the problems that you guys are going to do today.